Welcome to Fitzdog Radio. I am your intrepid host, Greg Fitzsimmons, for I think about 14 years now. I've been sitting in front of you, professing my inner secrets and trying to make you laugh, and I'm glad you've joined me for this journey. I don't know when it ends. I can't see where it would end. Why would I stop? I'll be an old man drooling on the mic, telling you about my hemorrhoids and my wife who's dead. My kids don't talk to me. God, I hope I die first. I would be so bummed if my wife died. I fucking love the shit out of her. She's the best. And if she died, I don't know what I would do. I would lose it. I really would lose it. And so it's kind of mean to put that on her that she has to deal with my death. But I'll be gone. I'm not one of those people that believes in an afterlife. So I'll just be gone and she'll deal. Sorry, baby. My dad died when my mom was 48 years old. Never remarried, dated a few times, and I can't see Erin. I think that would be it. I think it'd be a wrap. I don't think she'd be with anybody else, especially with me haunting the house and sabotaging all of her dates from the netherworld. Anyway, speaking of getting older, my son is... I just bought tickets for my son to graduate college. And I got direct flights. Flights are so goddamn expensive right now, and I wanted direct flights. I don't, as a rule, fly connections. I will turn gigs down. And I'm sorry if you live in a city that requires a connection, but there's a chance I don't work your city because of that. Direct flights only. I remember connecting to Florida. I was doing a gig in Miami, and my flight out of LA left at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get to Atlanta, and now I've got 2 hours layover for my flight to Miami from Atlanta. And so I was like, I set the alarm on my phone, and I laid across a bench, and I had to shimmy my body under the armrest. I remember that. I had to wedge my body under the armrest, and there was nobody around. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm taking up this whole bench. And so I set the alarm, and for half hour before the flight was going to leave, alarm goes off, and I come out of this deep fog, and I have drool down my face and neck. I am surrounded by people. There are hundreds of people. In every single seat is now occupied, and people are standing as I'm wedged under this bench. I'm wearing loose-fitting sweatpants, and I have a raging erection. I must have been dreaming about fucking Japanese anime porn. I must have been dreaming about crazy, fantastical. I mean, it was big, and it was sticking. It was a full tent pole. It was sticking straight out, and I was just this animal. I just felt like, oh my God, I was at my most vulnerable, and like nobody woke me and said, hey, what, or arrested me. It was fucking so embarrassing. And so I got up and I tucked my boner under the elastic waistband, and I walked away, and I went. And I got a cup of coffee, and I waited for everybody to fucking board until I got back in that waiting area. But then I realized I'm now walking down the aisle of the plane, and all those people that were, I'm sure, casting their gazes away from me were now looking at me walk down the aisle, crotch level, crotch to your eye level. That might be the last time I flew a connection in my life. I won't do it. I won't do it. It's a whole day. Either way, it's taking an entire day out of your life to travel. So Owen is graduating college, and it is pretty crazy how fast it went. He got cock-blocked by COVID, so he basically missed like a year and change of school, a year and a half of school, and never really built up like the huge circle of friends. I think he's got a lot of friends, and he's got some very close friends, but he didn't have that crazy party experience. I kind of feel bad, but he may be making up for it, because now he calls me drunk the other day, and I was like, why are you drunk at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday? And he's like, wine appreciation class. He's fucking taking a class. This is his college experience. He's taking money I made. How did I make it? By going to the fucking Green Bay Chuckle Hut in February and selling merch after the show when I'm exhausted in front of and taking all that money home. Not buying a steak on the road, buying a fucking cheeseburger, saving money, putting it away to put him through college so he can take wine appreciation class and improv. He took an improvisational comedy class. Here's an improv. Here, let me give you a given set of circumstances. You need a job. Now what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with that improv class? I just can't imagine telling my father that I was taking a wine appreciation class. They serve alcohol in the fucking class. Anyway, my parents, maybe they wouldn't have given a shit. They supported me starting stand-up. My parents paid for my college education 100%. I didn't pay a dime. No loans, which, by the way, if I'd taken loans on Owen, I think I wouldn't have to pay them back now. So I fucked that up, because we paid for college straight up. We saved for it, because I want to do the same thing for my kids that my father did for me. I want to pay for college. So we did. And I got out and I told my parents I want to be a stand-up comedian. This is what I want to do. And the only thing my father said to me is, just make sure you write. He goes, just write a lot, and which served me well, because I've written on TV shows, and that certainly helps my career a lot. Instead of just being on the road, I was able to mix it up with writing on TV shows, and it got me health insurance for about 20 years. And anyway, thanks, Dad. Thanks for the support, and Mom for supporting me through this crazy leap of faith that I took. And I want to say to all you young people, as far as following your dream, don't. It's crazy. The odds of making it are so slim. And your social life will be destroyed. You know how many fucking cousins' weddings I didn't go to? You know how many college friends had a weekend at the lake house? I didn't go to any of that shit, because I was at the Green Bay Chuckle Hut all weekend for no money for a lot of years. And I followed my dream. And where did it get me? I don't know. It got me a lot of places, but there's other ways to live life. I think there's an obsession in this country with following your dream. You know, you watch America's Got Talent, and you know, the next top supermodel, and everything is about follow your dream. You got to follow your dream. You won't be happy if you don't follow. You can be happy and not follow your dream. What if your dream is meet a lifelong bond who you love, raise a family, work at a job that makes you feel good about yourself, and have tons of sex with your hot wife? That's it. You don't need to take connecting flights to Green Bay. God, that must have been a traumatic experience, that Green Bay Chuckle Hut. I only worked it once, but yet I haven't stopped talking about it in 25 years. So anyway, I am in San Francisco this weekend. If you guys are around, Punchline Comedy Club, it just doesn't get any better than that. I write so much new shit when I'm there. The crowds are so hot. And I put out an Instagram video. I don't know if it's up yet, but I talked about when I first started working in San Francisco. There's a Cobb's Comedy Club now that's bigger, but there was an original Cobb's Comedy Club, which was very small. It held about 150 people, and it was a club that Robin Williams started at, and Dana Carvey, and Bobcat Goldthwait, and David Cross, and so many amazing comics started out of this room. And so I had worked there a bunch of times, and then I was on stage one night, and I smelled smoke, and all of a sudden firemen charged in with fucking axes and they start screaming at the crowd, get out, get out. And everybody jumped up and there was like a run for the door. I just remember waitresses trying to split up their tips and the firemen screaming at waitresses, get the fuck out. And so we got outside, and literally as we got out into the alley, because the club opened into an alley, there was like shit falling, flaming shit falling from the building into the alley, and people had to run with their hands over their heads. The building was on fire and the club burned to the ground. I stood on the street for hours with a crowd of people and watched this historical building in the cannery burn down. So I'm back. I'm coming back. I'm going to burn this motherfucker down too. San Francisco. I have such great memories of this town. I was one of the first cities that headlined me. Tom Sawyer, the great Tom Sawyer, that's really his name, used to run the club. And then Molly Schmenk has taken over. She's a dear friend. Used to go with me shopping for vintage suits. I used to wear vintage suits on stage for about a good decade. Maybe about 10 years I wore vintage suits on stage and skinny ties before Mad Men came out. And that was the best place to buy them, was San Francisco. And I do all the touristy shit when I'm there. I have fun. I walk all over the city. I went to Alcatraz last time. And you put on the headphones and you get a tour. And on the tour, it explains that this was the greatest. You know who built Alcatraz? Pause it and Google it and then come back. The prisoners, the original prisoners, were brought over there with tents, and they all lived in tents while they built the prison. And then when it was built and they finished, they walked him inside and they locked the door. Can you imagine? What fucking irony to build your own cage and then get in it. I would imagine you would build tunnels to get out as you're going. You know, every time the foreman's not looking, you throw a little, I don't know, or put some amenities in that weren't in the blueprint. Hey, Sullivan, what are you working on over there? Hot tub, sir. It's a hot tub. It's a little chilly out here on the island, on the rock. So anyway, I'm going there and I'm going to have fun. Everybody's gay in San Francisco. It's so nice to see all the gay people just gaying it up. You know, all different kinds of gays. You've got your over-the-top queens who wear sparkles and sachet. Those are fun. And then you've got gentlemen and ladies that come to the show that are dressed down, conservative, and they take being gay very seriously. They're there. Thelma's gay, by the way. The new Scooby-Doo movie, Thelma is a lesbian. And we know this because in the Scooby-Doo movie, a pretty girl walks by and Thelma's glasses fog up. And I guess we had all already known, the way we knew that Peppermint Patty was a lesbian, we've also known that Thelma is a lesbian. And you can kind of tell because the new Mystery Machine is a Subaru Legacy Outback. That's my joke. Anyway, let's get to it. I got a couple overheards. This comes from Owen. I was riding the bus home from work. While resting, I began listening to a conversation a young man was having with a middle-aged lady sitting across from me. They were discussing their upbringings, and the mom mentioned that her dad was in prison for the majority of her childhood. This is the kind of shit you want to overhear on a bus, when people go deep and they don't give a shit who's listening. When asked what for, she said armed robbery. He brags that it wasn't about the money. He did it for the thrill. Yeah. Well, I could see that. I could see getting to a certain point in your life where you've seen enough cool movies of people robbing banks. And it didn't say bank. It's just an armed robbery. But I think you got to go bank. You got to go big. Just think about it. Getting together with some good friends and spending like 6 months planning it out and scoping it out and then pulling it off. That would be amazing. I feel like I want to commit a crime before I die, like a major crime. I think I want to maybe murder a pimp, somebody who sexually traffics underage people. I'd like to murder somebody like that, perhaps. Long range sniper rifle, no evidence, just for personal satisfaction. I'd like to rob a bank, give the money to the poor, just pull off a big crime. That's on my bucket list. Grant Smith said, "Hey, Greg, I overheard this while playing on my over 40 baseball team." Should be softball at this point, Grant. "The other team's first base coach and a guy on the bench are talking. Quote, have you heard about Jerry? He's rich. His wife is doing OnlyFans. She's not fucking or nothing, just showing her titties on a stripper pole in their house. I won't lie. I got a subscription." Well, I guess that's what it is now. OnlyFans. Pretty soon we'll all have it. Jason Ellis, the radio guy, Jason Ellis, who I love. I just did a show recently, and his wife was telling me she has an OnlyFans, and I think she has sex with Jason on the OnlyFans site. It's becoming the new thing. It's like how we all started out with Friendster or MySpace, and then we got Instagram, and then TikTok, and now it's OnlyFans. They're doing a roast. They're launching a comedy section of OnlyFans for lewd content, and they're doing a roast that a bunch of comics are working on. So I would invest some money in OnlyFans because I think it might be the next big thing. I just read today, Elon Musk, I guess he now owns Twitter, fired a bunch of people, and is giving Trump his account back. So welcome back, Donald Trump. I think he said he wasn't going to join. I remember a while ago he said that he's going to try to stick to he came up with his own app, but I don't know how much success that had. We'll see if he said he would not leave his own to go back to Twitter. But we'll see. Manalo Matos says, lady near the airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico, was telling another lady how her mom in a nursing home gave a presentation explaining how she felt during COVID. When she finished, she fell over on the floor and everybody started clapping, thinking it was part of the presentation. But she really died. I love that. I mean, what a way to go. Todd Glass, the great Todd Glass, fantastic comedian, was on stage at Largo one night, and he fell to the ground, clutching his heart, and the crowd started laughing and laughing and laughing. What commitment. Boy, this guy's really staying down for a long time. Had a fucking heart attack on stage. And I forget who helped him, but I think somebody from the crowd, like it was literally like, is there a doctor in the house? And somebody come up and they saved him. And and Kevin Meaney was on stage, and a guy stood up, clutched his heart, and started staggering out of the room. And Kevin started going after the guy, going, "What are you doing walking out of my show? That's not right. Walking out of the show." And then the guy falls down on the ground and dies in a theater while Kevin's on stage halfway through his set. And people rush over. The ambulance gets called. I mean, but it's over. I mean, this guy went down like a sack of potatoes. Done. And so Kevin had to stay on stage and try to get the guy help and deal with that. And ironically, Kevin died of a heart attack himself. As I will. I'll predict it right now. My father died of it at 52. My mom just had major open heart surgery. I got a bad ticker, and I will probably die of a heart attack. So it's good to know. I'm kind of relieved. If I could die any way at all, how would I? If I could die, if you could choose your death, which would be a nice option. I think we should all be allowed to choose how we die. I think I would like to die in my car at a red light. I'm at a red light and I die. Heart attack. Just so that all the assholes honking behind. Honk, honk. Hey, what are you doing, asshole? Honk, honk, honk. Finally, they pull around and they look in, and it's me. And I'm honking too because I fell forward. And I'm honk. My chest is on the horn. Honk. And then they all have to feel like assholes. And we'll see how many of them keep driving. See if the first guy that sees me face down on the steering wheel gets out of his car and helps. And what happens to that? I hope it's a one-lane road and they're all stuck behind me. And it's a big fucking deal. Because what's worse than being at a red light and missing the light turning green, and in that instant somebody fucking honks at you and you feel like an asshole. But now, I'm not the asshole. I'm just dead. And it's on you. All right. Premium memberships available at Fitzdog.com. 970 back episodes. Get one now. It's like less than $20 a year, and you can support the show. The show certainly needs your support. And you can get free tickets when I come to your town. That's a benefit of premium membership. I got a bunch of people coming to the San Francisco shows this weekend for free because they are members. You can also get the Great Fitzsimmons t-shirt at Fitzdog.com. Tour dates coming up. Side Splitters in Tampa on November 17th to the 19th. Also coming up at the Rodeo Cinema in Oklahoma City. Hyenas in Fort Worth, Texas. All dates at Fitzdog.com. Okay, my guest today. Guests, because I had one guest and he hung out. And then Bill Burr, who's a buddy of both of ours, happened to be at the store, heard we were down there, stopped in and said hi for a little while. I came down for like 15, 20 minutes. But my guest is one of my favorite people and comedians. I've known him. We started together in Boston many years ago. He's a guy who's just been like a presence at the Comedy Cellar for 20 years. Opie and Anthony guy. I used to do Tough Crowd with him a lot, with Colin Quinn. You know him from Louis C.K.'s show, Louie, where he plays his brother. And Louie just produced his stand-up special that just came out. And he also put him in his movie, 4th of July. So Louie's a big fan of Bobby's, as am I. And we talked in the basement of the Comedy Cellar this past week, or the Comedy Store this past week. And here it is. Enjoy Bobby Kelly. Bobby Kelly, what's up, buddy?
I'm working on a new character, new to podcasting.
Uh-huh.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Subtitled First Blowjob, kind of similar relationship to the mic.
Yeah, man. It's talking. Yes. I would love to have that penis. You ever blow somebody?
I almost did once.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's such a great, honest statement.
Yeah. I could have let it go, and we would have been right on to the next topic. Nope. Almost did in Boston, but I don't want to talk about it. Have you ever?
I almost did 4 times. 5th time I did, but I mean, it's so weird growing up Catholic. It's like,
yeah.
Now, when you were in Boston, you say you grew up you're from New York. You're from Terrytown.
From New York.
But you went to Boston for comedy. School.
No, I went to Boston University, and while I was in class,
right, I
was going out at night and doing stand-up, doing open mic nights.
Yeah.
And then, you started, I'm going to say you started in 93.
Yeah, 93.
93, I was going to say 93.
Yeah.
So I was in New York, I think, at that point. I had just moved to New York, I think, in 93.
Yeah.
So we crossed paths because I would come back and forth, and then I come back up on the weekend. I come up like every 3 weekends. I spend the weekend up there and do stand-up. And but we were talking before the show about, like, there was a softball game Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
And all the comics played. We had 2 full sets. We had 18 fucking players
in New York.
3 days a week. No, this is in Boston.
Oh, in Boston. Oh, yeah.
In Boston before I left.
Yeah.
And it was like, at the time, it was like Louis C.K. and Janine Garofalo and fucking David Cross.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan.
Wow.
And it was just like...
yeah, my generation didn't do any of that.
No?
Patrice, me, Dane, Burr, Marley.
Yeah.
No, we would sleep until 3.
Yeah.
Play video games.
You weren't drinking at that point.
No, I haven't drank in 37 years.
Right.
But we would go to the clubs.
Yeah.
As many as we could.
Yeah.
Like we'd go from Billerica 99s to the Colognes to try to get a spot and then go into the city.
Yeah.
And then usually wind up at Nick's begging for something and then hang out and then go to Dominic's for a slice.
Uh-huh.
And then we'd hang out until like 3 in the morning just trying to bust each other's balls. And then one of us would have to drive Patrice to the projects, usually Burr in his red truck. And then
wait, you flip past. I want you to describe Dominic's to people that have never been to Dominic's in Boston.
Dominic's is
not a comedy club.
Not a comedy club. It's a pizza place / bar / disco at some times.
Yeah, there was a ball.
There was like a little music there. Sometimes you go in and there'd be a hooker with some John just dancing.
Yes, exactly.
And
it was where hookers went to dates.
Yeah.
Where they took their dates.
When they got hungry, they'd go in and get a slice and take their dates.
Yeah.
And it was open till like 3.
And it was prostitutes, strippers, and stand-up comedians.
Yeah. At a certain time, yes, that's what it was. And we would hang out there and just eat pizza, eat slices, talk shit.
Yep. And I remember once seeing the owner of one of the comedy clubs, who was an Italian gentleman, may or may not have been mafia connected. And I remember him slow dancing with a waitress there who I had a big crush on. And I remember thinking, God, that's weird because he's like 60 and she's about 20, 19. And I remember them slow dancing to Summer Winds by Frank Sinatra and seeing him slide his hand down onto her asshole.
He requested that song too. Play Summer Winds for me. I got Karen.
It was my wedding song. Play Summer Winds.
Yeah, that was a time, man. Nick's Comedy Stop at that time, the community was just outrageous.
Yeah.
Like all you guys had just left.
Yep.
But Noxie, Sweeney, all those guys were still there. And Billy Martin, Joe Yannetti had come back. Like guys had come back.
Yeah.
Who left.
Right.
And then it was us. Just us, Gary
Young
Gulman.
Guns.
Yeah, the Young Guns. It was all comedy.
You know what's weird is, other than Patrice and Carl Yard and maybe one other guy, there were no black guys, and there were very few women.
Carl was... I was blacker than Carl.
He was from Barbados.
Was he? I mean...
He was from Barbados.
Yeah,
I remember one of his jokes was, he would walk out and go, am I the only coconut-eating motherfucker here?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got the wrong black guy. Carl Yard. Man.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dom Fig?
Dom Fig, he used to dress as a vampire.
Dude, he scared the shit out of me.
Really?
He came up the stairs one night as a vampire, and he had real teeth. And I'm just looking at his teeth like...
That's right.
I'm like, I think they're... And I went up to Patrice, I'm like, dude, those are real fangs. He's like, motherfucker. What? I was like, they're real fangs.
Yeah.
And Patrice went up and he's like, let me see those teeth.
Yeah.
And he had real custom porcelain teeth made for this character.
Right.
And he killed.
He used to destroy.
Remember Spanky?
Yeah, I remember Spanky. He wasn't a Boston guy, though. He was a Jersey guy, I think.
He was a Boston guy.
Really?
Dude, I lived with Maria Falzoni.
Yeah, of course.
She had a...
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, exactly. She had a 3-bedroom off of Shirley Ave in Revere, which back in the day was a Jewish Italian neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a Korean war zone.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah, it went downhill a little bit, right? A little drugs and all that. She still had the house.
Yeah. That was where she was born?
She was born. Her parents gave her the house, her and her brother that house. A couple lived on the first floor. She lived on the second floor, and she rented out the top floor to Jim Laletta.
Oh.
Remember Jim Laletta?
Yeah.
Funny, right?
Killed.
Just with the mask.
The Batman mask.
No, just murdered.
Yeah.
And I remember they left. I was so dirty. I live with Maria.
Yeah.
On her second floor.
Oh, you did?
I live with her.
No
I had a little.
shit.
Yeah, she let me live there, and it's like $125 a month. Her and some gay guy who's trying to be a weatherman, who always tried to fuck me. I mean, this is back when I was sexy, Bobby.
There's a hard front rolling into the living room.
Dude, I remember one night I woke up. When she would go on the road, he would try his hardest to bang me.
Yeah.
I remember one night I woke up and he was in
Was
his...
that the fourth cock?
No. It was the seventh. Then he was... I saw the silhouette in my doorway and it was him in his underwear. He's like, Bobby? And I'm like, yes, Brian. Bobby, can I snuggle? And I was like, no, dude, we can't snuggle, dude. And he's like, why? And he stomped his feet and he was like, just snuggling. He got mad at me. And I almost got me too because I was like, oh, come here.
Right, come here.
But yeah.
No, you're going to be gay about it.
Dude,
living with Maria, though, she was the fucking greatest lady. She was so cool.
She was cool, but it was kind of like living with Madonna, dude.
Yeah.
She was a little, she was a queen.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of an alpha male.
Yeah.
I don't like being told shit. You know what I mean? And
she was a strong woman.
Strong woman, and she liked her house clean, and
okay.
I wasn't that clean, and she, she wound up, and I loved her. She was so great. She took, she brought me in, but she kicked me out. I remember when
she kicked you out
when Loletta and them left. Joe Carroll moved up there. And Joe had like 16 cats.
Yeah.
I don't know fucking why.
Yeah.
He had 16 cats. It was a 3-bedroom. And he had one of the bedrooms for just his cats. Because Joe would leave for a month and just pour stuff in a thing and leave them in the room and then just... It was crazy. Then Larry Rapucci moves up there. Okay? So she kicked me. I went upstairs to the 3rd floor, which is like, it's like lockup. It's like solitary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
a step up, but a step down.
It's a step down. I mean, I went up there, dude. There was no, like Jim Loletta and his friend, they were going to redo the whole thing, but they half-assed it. So there was all ripped wallpaper. My door, when you went into my side, there was no, it wasn't in the door. It was just you, like duct tape. You picked it up and pushed it into the frame. So you could just break in whenever you wanted into my room.
Yeah.
And I lived up there with Larry Rapucci. I remember I used to have to put bags, like plastic bags around my bed so I could hear the mice coming. Because Pooch, people don't know this, Larry Rapucci, Joe Carroll, very funny guys from Boston.
Larry Rapucci used to go on stage, and his closing bit was he'd wear overalls, and underneath he had on a women's bikini.
Gold G-string.
Yeah. And just a lumpy, mushy, horrible body.
Yeah, it was around 380.
Yeah.
Something like that. And long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like one of the trolls from Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he came out of a mine.
Yeah.
And I remember his first joke was, some people will say that I'm racist. And I have one thing to say about that. White power! And either it killed or it fucking, he ate it.
Yeah.
And
you know who loves him is Louis C.K.
I love him too, yeah.
He looked him up. He was living in Iowa.
Yeah.
Like he had hit the skids and he moved out to Iowa because he figured it was the cheapest place in the country to live. And Louis wanted him to be in a movie he was making. So it took him weeks to track him down. He found him in Iowa and he flew him in and he put him in a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Joe wound up moving out and Larry took his room.
Yeah.
And now it's me and Larry. But Larry walks around naked all the time.
Oh.
I used to have pieces of paper up all over the house. So when he would walk up, I could just hold him again. Because I was like, dude, you got to stop walking around naked. He goes, I'm 380 pounds. It's too hot. It's easy for me to do this. He just would say, fuck you. And he would leave like hamburgers on the microwave. And I'd be like, I'm throwing this out. And he'd put it in the microwave, heat it up for 30 seconds and eat it. He goes, why? It was there for 3 days. Like, this is what I'm living with. And I remember one night I came home and I had to work the next day, and he'd come home from some shit gig somewhere at 2 a.m. and just throw the stereo on.
Yeah.
And he'd just throw the stereo on and start playing fucking Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
and all these, and I was like, turn it down, and we got into a big fight, and I wound up kicking his door down, and I was gonna kill him. I was like, I'm gonna fucking punch you in your face. Shut this. I remember. I'm gonna fucking smash this out the fucking window. All this shit. He called the cops.
No.
Yeah, he called the cops. They show up. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, this fucking guy, and we're fighting with each other in front. And they thought we were lovers.
Of course they did.
So I'm mad because I'm like, you think I'd fuck that?
Yeah.
Like, look at me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm into?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And we just both started laughing. And from that time on, we just became good friends. You know what I mean? And he used to make, like, you do road gigs with him, he would make you a tape cassette.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that?
No.
So if you ever did the road, Larry, you would do, he would make he'd be the DJ.
Uh-huh.
So he'd pick songs that you would like, he thinks you'd like.
And make a mix.
And he'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, this next song's AC/DC, one of Bob's favorites. He rocks out to this every time he comes on the stage, I guarantee it. Let's give it up for Back in Black by the men themselves, AC/DC. And he'd put it in.
Yeah.
And you'd listen to his mixtape on the way. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I did a gig with Tom Cotter and Al Ducharme. Those were like my two closest friends when I was coming up in Boston. And Rogan. Yeah. It was like the four of us, and I get into the car with Tom and Al, and we start driving, and Al goes, "Have you heard of this new band, the Blue Mosquitoes?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "They're great." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "You want to hear them?" I was like, "Sure." And so he pulls a cassette out of his bag and he puts it into the cassette player in my car. He turns it up, kind of like 3 seconds, and then it's Al on the tape going, "Greg's pussy."
Al's a funny motherfucker, man.
Al's fucking hilarious.
I mean, to this day, I follow him on Facebook. He's just silly.
Oh, is he funny on Facebook?
He's just silly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, like, he was the first guy. Like, I know Dane and Tony, what's his name?
Tony V?
No, who's the other guy that was kind of like Dane?
Machado?
No.
Mosquito?
He's the exact opposite of Dane. No, it was like, what the fuck is his name? From Boston. He hosted the comics TV show. I'm fucking getting old, dude. Anyways, he was like the first guy that was just silly on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I know Dane was.
Yeah.
And, but he went on stage and would come in and just fucking murder.
Yeah.
And all this crazy, silly, goofy shit.
Right.
And I just thought he was.
But that's the thing about Boston is, like, there was a certain edge. Like, you personify the Boston edge, like, and the rhythm of it, and the hard punchlines and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so people sort of fall into thinking that that's how you got to do it. Like, people, young comics that I see in Boston today, like, they grew up watching you, and they go like, all right, I got to be like that guy.
Yeah.
And then you come along and you get like an Anthony Clark or a Kevin Meaney. Anthony Clark.
Tony, Anthony.
Right.
Anthony
you get
Clark.
people that can be silly, and the Boston crowds fucking love it.
Anthony Clark, Dane, and Al were silly.
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculously silly.
Yeah.
And would murder.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that there was something about the like... I've never seen anybody murder in my life like Kevin Meaney in Boston.
Yeah.
In his prime. There was like, there's everybody talks about the word killing.
Yeah.
And it's like, here, open up your computer, put down the fucking Tonight Show, Kevin Meaney, first appearance.
Yeah.
That's killing. Anything short of that is not killing.
Yeah. I've seen him really take a hot one, too.
Oh, yeah.
If Kevin didn't...
Which was just as funny.
Just as funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in the thing, I don't care.
I don't care.
It's such a perfect song for bombing.
Yeah. He would start bombing and he would sing, I don't care. I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
It was such a great...
It was great. And it went on. It was like a 3-minute song.
He would not stop. I was in Appleton, Wisconsin at the Skyline.
Oh, wow.
And I was middling for him, and he went up and took a hot one. I don't care. You don't like me, but I don't care. I got 20 more minutes. It's gonna be hell, but I don't care.
He's like going meow meow meow. No, he'd start meowing the rest of the song.
Yeah, he was so good, man. So funny.
But then
To me, that's true comedy.
yeah.
Like when you give up and go, "Oh, you guys suck." Now,
Yeah, right.
find a way to bomb.
Because he'd get him back sometimes.
You might
by
get him
singing
back,
that song.
but if you don't get him back, if one of us is in the room, at least we're gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At
Right.
least we're gonna be like, "Dude, that was funny."
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Voss bomb like that. Me and Keith actually made him bomb one night. He went up after what's her name? Who's the blonde girl? Very funny. My brain's going. I'm sorry.
Maria Bamford.
No.
Alicia Michael.
No. Younger, hot.
New York.
Yep. Fuck. Dude, I can't do this anymore.
I know. I'm getting
I'm
the
done.
same way.
I
You know what
can't
you
do it.
need?
What?
Alpha Brain.
Oh, geez.
I take Alpha Brain every day now.
Stop it.
Helps a little bit.
Little?
Hey, a little is a lot at this point.
Dude, I can't
I do
remember.
the Wordle. I do the Wordle. And I take Alpha Brain, and then I try to get my day started.
I gotta do something, dude, because I can't podcast anymore.
Yeah.
If I have a thought and I can't forward the thought because I don't remember anything, this is done.
Yep.
What's I'm gonna have to have like somebody help me.
Yeah, it's like watching Brady try to fucking go third and long.
What an idiot, by the way.
By the way, fuck your Patriots. They knocked me out of a pool tonight. That was a brute. They fucking sucked tonight.
Why? What happened?
You didn't watch the Patriots
I didn't
game?
watch it, no.
Oh, shit. Am I going to spoil it if I
No,
tell
you're
you?
not. I'm not. No,
I'm
I
going to
don't-
spoil it already.
Good.
They just stink. They got, first of all, Belichick, who with all his records about he's won as many games. Tom Shula is the only coach that's won as many games. He's won more than Belichick. Belichick's record without Tom Brady is less than 500.
Yeah, together they were great.
Together they were
Yeah,
great.
it was like Opie and Anthony. Together they were great.
Right. You know what I mean? You ever see Jason Sklar on his own? Not as great. Not as great.
The fucking Sklar brothers. What a pull. That's a good one.
Jason Sklar would
Nikki
be a better...
Glazer!
Nikki Glazer.
Nikki
Right,
freaking
there you
Glazer.
go. Well, that's why...
Your brain remembering helped my brain.
Yeah. So
yes.
wait, we're halfway through 3 different stories right
I'm
now.
sorry, dude. It's because I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, but so anyway, I'm in a football pool, and I got knocked out tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't get completely knocked out. I take four boxes in this suicide pool, and there's like 2,500 people in the pool, and there were 15 left, and I had 2 guys left, and now there's 8 left, and I have 1. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't gamble.
Oh, you don't gamble?
No, I'm an addict.
Oh.
Yeah, I would be. My life would be done.
Yeah.
Because I'm cigars is my last thing. But you know the whole Patriots thing. We knew what was going on, and now Tom, he let her go. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
You think she's a witch?
Dude, she's from Brazil. The bitch has chicken bones.
That's right. I heard about
Dude, you don't fuck with chicken bone chicks.
Yeah. She used to do all kinds of rituals with them before games.
You don't think she killed a lamb? He ain't winning another game, brother.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's over.
She's doing some voodoo.
Yeah.
She's down in Brazil with her cousins. They all got blood, pig's blood.
Yeah.
They're all making love. And they're undaba. He said, tutubao. Speaking
Yeah.
Brazilian,
Yeah.
Portuguese. And there's a fucking Tom Brady doll
Yeah.
with the TB on it.
Yep.
And they're fucking just shitting on it. Dude, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He is dumb.
There's a goat with a Buccaneers jersey on, and they are just throwing fucking poison darts
they're just
at it.
cutting its throat,
Yeah.
just slice.
It's got a Brazilian wax on its pussy.
Dude, you don't fuck with a voodoo
No.
chick, man. You are married to a voodoo chick.
Yeah.
You keep your shit together.
Yeah,
She says retire. She was picking the Super Bowl years, brother.
Oh, no shit.
She's a voodoo bitch. Greg.
Really?
She was picking the years he won. She was like, "You're going to win this year." She was like this. She was throwing, "You're going to win." She was throwing chicken bones, going, "Yeah, yeah." I'm telling you, man. He better walk away. This is going to be a Stephen King movie. This dummy's gonna.
Can he save the marriage at this point? If he were to leave today, could he save the marriage?
I would dude. Look at what Larry Bird laid it out for all of you fucking idiots, all you sports people. When you play and you win the champions, and you're one of the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
When it's time, Larry Bird was lying on the floor, stretching his back in between, him playing.
Yeah.
He said, I'm out.
Yeah.
And he retired and he walked the fuck away.
On top.
And then Magic Johnson fucked up. Jordan fucked up. Mm-hmm. Walk away.
Yeah.
You're Tom Brady. Dude, 7. You went to another team and won another one.
That was the cherry on top. That's when you walk away.
Away.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants another one, and you ain't getting it. He ain't getting it.
No.
No, she killed a goat.
Yeah.
There's blood. There's blood. Now he's gonna go to Hooters and bang some fucking Hooters chick.
Yeah.
He's gonna Tiger Woods his career.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
Thomas.
I know.
You would have been behind the desk doing commentary. You would have done a million commercials. This is when you knew the Patriots. This is when you knew Belichick sucked, when he was a Dunkin' Donuts commercial trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Belichick never did that.
Yeah.
They never did any of that shit.
Right.
You never saw him on commercials. Let's go win Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. It's like fighters. I have a theory. When you see a fighter, a champion, and they're in the ring and they're in their gym before they do those lead ups.
Yeah.
And then the kid comes in and they're rolling around on the mat with the kid while this other guy's hanging from a fucking banana tree down in, Jamaica, just pulling himself up.
Yeah. Right.
And he's like giggling with this kid doing little baby jiu-jitsu. It's like, dude, you're going to lose.
Right.
You're going to lose, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking doing chin-ups on a coconut tree.
Yeah. It's Rocky.
It's the same thing. And Brady's done. It's over. I mean, it's over.
Yeah, it was a good fucking run. It was poetic. It was Shakespearean. He was this guy who didn't get drafted coming out of college football. I think he rode the bench for 3 years at Michigan, and then all of a sudden he gets a shot. Belichick takes a fucking stringer on this guy, and it's magic. And then
he needed somebody to believe in him. That's it.
Did I ever tell you my Brady story?
No.
It's going to be great.
I wouldn't remember. I can't remember anybody's name. You might have.
That's what we should do. We should do a podcast together where we just can't think of shit for an hour. No, it'd have to be 5 hours.
I think we're doing it. I think we're almost there, dude. This is fucking whacked. We're just staring at each other.
We're not even high.
What's her name?
We're both sober.
But you're not even helping me. You're like, I don't know. You're like Sarah McLachlan. I know.
Hot chick. That's all I got to work with.
Oh, what's your?
Hey, we're talking about comedians.
I just tooted too. I'm so sorry. We're just two old guys. Oh my god, just tooting. What? Huh? Can you look up the name of a hot chick?
By the way, the complete lack of ventilation in this studio.
I gotta take it off too. When you took yours off, I'm like, pussy. Now I'm dying.
It's 85 degrees in here. What's going on, John?
There's no AC because they put the foam everywhere.
Yeah, they foamed it up because there's a show going on upstairs, and they don't want it. They don't want the sound to spill in. But it may be a little air spill in.
Yeah, that's all right. Burr's trying to crash this podcast right now.
Oh yeah, send him down.
Send him down. Yeah.
Do we have a third? John, can we get a third microphone?
Look how fast he just ran. I mean, you said Burr, and he ran. Did you see that? Was Burr? Oh, I'll bring Burr over here. What's up, dude? How do I look?
What's going on? You fucking look fantastic.
Now, what did I hear? I'm watching Monday Night.
One of the founding fathers.
Burr, you look good too, dude. You look like you got some muscle on you, man.
I'm trying.
Yeah? You throwing the steel around?
I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just talk for a second.
There was a weird text thread. I'm watching Monday Night Football, and my friends are all like, did you guys see Bill Burr? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Eli and Peyton do a...
You want to? It's a microphone.
Oh, we on the show started?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do an intro.
Oh, hey, Bill
and gentlemen,
Burr.
give it
There's
up.
no business like show business like Gregory Fitzsimmons.
Remember the frog?
Oh, yeah. I remember that frog. Oh, yeah. No, Eli and Peyton do a simulcast where they just watch the game.
Uh-huh.
Does this look professional? Like
Yeah,
I hold
looks
this like
great.
I won an Emmy?
Yeah, you did. Looks good.
Bobby Kelly.
What's up, buddy?
I miss you.
I miss you too, man.
Yeah, I'm psyched you're out here. Are we going to have time after the podcast?
I got all
Wednesday,
night.
right?
I got to leave it. I'm leaving. My wife booked me a 5 a.m. flight back to New York. I'm going to have to leave at like 3:30, right?
What do you mean your wife booked you?
She books the flights.
He's got her in line.
Yeah, dude, back in the day.
Sounds like she's got him in line.
Well, I don't have a manager. You got a manager?
No.
I don't have shit, dude. My wife books the flights. I've booked them before, but I fuck them up.
Yeah.
I fuck everything up. And she was like, I'm just going to do it. I was like, okay, great.
So you're going to stay up all night?
No, I'll probably pack during the day. And then isn't it weird, like those things when you're on the road? I pack the night before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
gotcha.
sleep even an hour. I feel okay.
Yeah.
And then I get up. I just get the fuck up, grab my bags, and go.
Yeah.
But I get to the airport at like I need to be there 2 hours before at least. Like Ari he'll be walking through security as they're boarding.
That's what I do.
I can't fucking
Yeah.
I don't do that. I can't do it. It's too stressful.
Don't you worry that you're not going to get an overhead compartment? Like, I can't relax until that bag's in there, and then I sit down. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can just fucking relax. I can deal with whoever's sitting next to me.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a place for my bag. You know, even when I just get on with the bag, I think, worst case scenario, they check it here. I stand in that little line. They give it to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I have too much anxiety. I need that. I need to get in, bag overhead, and I'm sitting down while everybody's boarding. I
Yeah.
need to board first, too. I can't. I'll pay whatever it is to
Yeah.
board first.
Dude, there's no way to get on first.
What?
They just keep creating new groups in front of you.
I almost
Delta Airlines is the fucking worst.
I'm going to join the Army to get on first.
Just wear fatigues and limp.
Yeah.
I'm a comedy veteran, you cocksucker. No, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. They look
Anybody with any sort of fucking ailments or whatever, and a guy will come in, doesn't even have the decency to limp, will just walk
Yeah.
by. I got metal in my toe. Like, how are you gonna figure that?
Yeah.
I got
Anybody with children, they're 16.
Yeah.
Did you need to board early with teenagers?
Yeah, and people who fuck their fucking legs up, save their crutches,
Yeah.
and go to the airport with them.
Yeah. I did that in Vegas once. I had a leg brace on. I put it on the outside of my jeans, and I limped through.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it was great. I had a Kaiser Soze on the other side, though. I just started walking
Dude,
regular.
you should wear that leg brace every flight.
Yeah. It's a nightmare.
All right.
I got into a fight with the Clear people last week in Vegas, and it sucked because I do Clear and I have TSA, and they weren't there, so I saw them over by the gate, so I walked over to them, and I was like, hey, I'm Clear. They're like, yeah, you have to come back over here, and I was like, okay. Well, I walked back over. There's 20 people in line now, like literally like that. So I was like, hey. She's like, you have to go in the line. I go, but I was in the line. You weren't here. I walked over to where you were. You were somebody. She's like, sir, when they do that?
Yeah.
Sir, you have to go. And I, in those situations, I don't help myself. I hurt myself. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going then.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
I went to TSA. And I was in the TSA line. There was a little line. I went through it. I get to the front. My wife didn't put my TSA number in. So the guy's like, I don't see TSA on here anywhere, sir. And she was right there. And she just went, I saw the smile. I was like, fuck. I had to get out of line and go on the fucking other line. I was I was mumbling.
Yeah.
I was literally going, fuck.
I would laugh at that if that didn't ring so true.
Oh, hurt.
I just flew with my wife. We went to Chicago last weekend. And I have enough points that I get auto upgrades sometimes. So I get auto upgraded to first class, but she's in coach and was upset that I was going to go sit in first class. So I said, all right, I'll stay in coach.
You got to. You have to stay in coach.
I realized.
That's a Voss. Voss has done that.
Yeah.
Voss has left Bonnie in coach. And then he's gone back to bring her food, like a cookie, to let everybody know.
Here's a cookie.
I did it once.
You did?
And I never felt,
Can't do it.
Yeah.
No, it was bad because I was going to Europe and I just
first.
and I had just gotten off like 90 fucking planes and I was finally gonna get to sit first class. They only made one and I had to go over and I had to have good shows.
Right.
And I broke it to her that way and she was like, fine. And she's forgiven me. I've never forgiven myself. I still can't believe I did that in a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
I was just like, because I never flew first back then. I was just to not be, dude, I flew coached from New York to fucking Sydney, Australia. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking do it.
You broke down. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You
No, it was
felt
bad.
bad about it.
No, I still feel bad.
You should.
It's like no, it was fucking terrible. Yeah.
Boss doesn't feel bad at all.
No.
Like he was like, no, this is my first class. Ugh. They did that to me one time, that stupid virus tour we did. We're all in coach. And then Norton got upgraded. Voss got upgraded. Opie and Anthony got upgraded. And then Patrice got upgraded. And there was one more seat left. And they gave it to Kenny. Kenny just walks by, sorry, sir. And he just takes it was just me and coach by myself. And they kept just sending stuff back to me. Like, so they would just be like a cookie and then like a piece of steak and a salad and all this shit. And they were having such a blast. And you could hear them laughing. And they were just trashing me the whole time. And I was just back there like eating my dumb cookie. It sucked. Sorry, sir. I remember Kenny.
Who's Kenny?
Kenny's the best.
Kenny. Club Soda Kenny.
He's a comic?
Yeah. No, he's a security guard.
Yeah, security.
Oh, security
manager and all
got
that.
he got sent up front.
Dude, he has security. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Oh,
I made the story
wow.
better. Security. He was security
Yeah.
for Opie and Anthony
Yeah.
at the shows, and they were they upgraded him. They talked to they were like, listen, I think they used Norton's points or something to give him that seat.
Yeah.
And he walked by, sorry, sir, and he just fucking right past me. Yeah. Fucking A. First
If I could have
class.
done all that over again, I would have been nicer to everybody. We
Right.
were such fucking assholes. We were just assholes to each other. There was no reason for it.
Yeah, we were. I mean, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. But I feel like now is the right time.
When?
Now is the right time that we're nice to each other. Right now. Right?
Right? Meow.
Now.
Meow.
Now.
I feel like meow. We used to do that all the time. We lived in the apartment. He would just say a word weird, and I'd be like, "What?" And he would always nail it. He could do like 20 takes in the same row.
We've been doing this for 30 years.
I know, dude. I think about how much fucking time has gone by. I just cannot believe. This time we were living in New York. It's just fucking bananas.
Were you guys roommates in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Billy moved to New York and then got, literally like 6 months in, got a Go pilot on Carsey Warner. And he had this, and then somebody called me, Matt Frost called me and saw my acting reel. And he was like, dude, I love your acting. Not my comedy. He's like, I love your acting. You moved to New York. I want to rep you. And I was like, fucking yeah. I called Billy and I said, dude, you have an apartment that you're never at. But he kept it. So I was like, let me take it. When you
I
come
was
back.
subletting a walk-through railroad.
Yeah.
Was it in Harlem?
97th between 3rd and Lex.
97th Street. So he was, the other guy's name was on the lease.
Yeah.
So I had the walk-through bedroom. So then Bobby went in there. I remember it was like $425 a month.
Yeah.
Which was still, that was a lot of fucking money back
Yep.
in 95.
A lot of money.
Like I remember a one-bedroom apartment was like $700 a month. I was like, $700? How the
Yeah.
fuck you ever before that? So then he was, he lived there. And he paid like
$325,
and I paid $125, so I
Right.
could come back whenever I wanted and crash.
Yeah, so I would
And
hit
dude,
the couch, or he would hit the couch,
Yeah.
whoever.
And you would think that it would suck, but it was great because
Yeah.
all of us played rollerblade hockey like right
That's
around
fun.
the corner. So we came back and it was like a fucking frat house.
Yep.
Yeah, there was all kinds of fucking.
We would go back there after the cellar with little like Kevin Hart and Patrice and Keith and Billy, and
Yeah.
we'd play video games at like 3 in the morning.
In that little apartment?
Dude,
on a little square TV too.
a little square
Yeah.
TV. Here's the thing: it wasn't a bedroom; it was a hallway.
Yeah.
It was like a sitting area.
Yeah, it was like a sitting area. Like so, he put. I remember when I showed up the first night. He wasn't there. He was in L.A., but Akeen was there, the guy who owned it. And I showed up, and I didn't know what the apartment was. I was like, dude, let me go sight unseen, right? And my parents dropped me off. And I remember the bedroom, there's like he would walk, like as you're sleeping, this guy would walk through your bedroom, and you could hear him. And I remember it freaked me out. That week, I went and bought a curtain rod, and I put a curtain up
Yeah.
just so I could have that...
Yeah.
Privacy.
veil.
Yeah.
Because I remember I've been there with girls.
Dude, I remember you. He was there for like 2 years.
You were there 2 years?
Something. He
3.
was 3 years. He was so burnt out. He was just like, dude. He goes, I just want a door. I want a door that I can close. I mean, there was such a New York moment. Like, that's all you want. I just want a door. I don't care if it's a fucking like Hulk, like a coat check, little, like if it's a foot deep. As long as there's a door and I can close it and just be alone.
Yeah.
Dude, Russ Maneve had one of my favorite fucking just like New York jokes. I can't. Do I have it? Yeah, he was saying the worst sound you heard when you had a roommate was when you were alone. Is you just heard like.
Yeah.
You just heard the keys going into the thing. You're like, oh no! And it's like, hey buddy, how you doing? I was, just hanging out.
Yeah, dude. I would have to make out with girls in the hallway. Like, I just like, we got to stay. There's too many people in the fucking house. The worst part is some nights you'd be with a girl in the bed and the curtain would be drawn. You'd hear footsteps, but then they'd stop, like, in the room.
Yeah.
And you're like, this motherfucker stopped. He's like,
I always just thought he was startled, like, oh shit, there's somebody in here.
I don't know, dude.
But you
he
told me
stop.
one time
he was peeking in.
So Bobby. The next time he came through, Bobby made sure he was laying on his back with his junk out. The guy looked in and he just goes, what's up?
It was crazy, man. It was fucking crazy. It was
What was the Chinese food place? Number one.
Mama, what I'll do, they made you order all kinds of
Oh
shit.
my God, they got you so fucking anxious. You called, the guy was just yelling at you. You
What
ordered
else?
Chinese
What
food, and you just go, number one. What do you want?
He goes,
That it? What else?
yeah, he goes, what else? So you go,
Chicken broth, chicken curry. What else?
you wind up ordering $70 worth of food because he'd go, what else? He'd be like, fried rice. What else? Lo mein.
It would always end with like 4 okays. Okay. Dude, it was like fucking like even just ordering food in that neighborhood was fucking intense.
Yeah.
Because that was before, like I remember Natterman had a joke. He said 96th Street is the last street a white guy can legally live on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where it was then.
Yeah.
We were on 97th.
Yeah.
And because we were on 97th, if you had any sort of delivery, if you missed it, our post office box was up into Spanish Harlem.
125th.
And dude, when I tell you 98th Street, that was it for white guys.
Right.
I used to go there at 10 in the morning because I'm like, all right, this is the working class, or all the night shifts, all gone to bed, or whatever the fuck happened, and I would just fucking do this shit, put this up, and I'm just walking up there looking like the undercover cop.
Yeah.
You know, and I would go, just straight up beeline over. Dude, that was before like Google Maps and all of that
Right.
shit. So you had I can't remember how I figured out. Oh, it was on the little thing. It said where it was.
The little laminated.
Yeah, but then you didn't know what street it was between. So then I was
Right.
like, please be between 3rd and Lex.
Right.
So I don't have to start cutting over because you know how like those rules were, where it was just like you can cut over on the main streets, 86th, 90th Street, 72nd Street. When you did the other ones, you were actually considered in the neighborhood.
Right. And you would walk down the middle of the street instead of on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I remember people doing that.
Yeah.
I remember people doing that, and I was just thinking, like, all right, if they're doing that,
Yeah.
and I look like Richie Cunningham, I should probably be doing it too.
Yeah, it was crazy. We used to do our laundry in the projects. Remember?
It was the basement of a project building.
Yeah, we
would
just go in and do our
up there.
laundry.
Uh-huh.
We just hang out and talk, and
Yeah.
we do it in the day, and it's just,
All right.
just big sink, one of those big fucking basement sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was
It's a
great.
great laundry place compared to the other ones down the way.
Yeah.
It was fucking aggressive people. It was so weird. And like right when you got to 96th Street, you had all the fucking rich white people, and you'd go to those fucking ones, and they would, the second the dryer was done, if you weren't in there, they'd take your shit and fucking throw it out.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my
Right,
God. Are you
right.
Remember the
fucking touching
Bally's?
my clothes?
Remember
Remember
that,
Bally's?
the gym we
I
went
went to
to?
a collection agency trying to get rid of
I
those
had to
fucking
too.
cunts.
Dude, I did the same fucking thing.
Dude, they were brutal.
They would not
Brutal.
let me out.
Dude, they told me if you send in a $40 cancellation fee, and I fell for that. Then they go, oh no, actually we can't cancel it because you have there's a Bally's within a 12-mile fucking radius. It was like they were so filthy. So I just stopped paying them. I just said fuck it. I canceled the credit card.
Yeah.
So then this collection agency called me up and they go, yeah, hey, we're so and so from the whatever collection agency. We bought your debt from Bally's Total Fitness. And I go, well, I don't know what the hell you did that for. I was like, I didn't pay them. What makes me think I'm going to pay you? I don't even know you.
At least I was working out in their gym.
And the woman was going like, oh, I could destroy your credit and blah, blah. I go, my credit's perfect. I go, I really don't think it's someday if I want to buy a house for a couple $100,000, they're going to be like, you know what? We were going to give it to you, but you owe, $300 to a gym. Yeah. And she's like, oh my God. She goes, that's amazing. That's amazing because I just had somebody call me up going, please please, let me settle this. I'm trying to buy a house. I can't do it because I owe $340 to such and such. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I go, that's almost the exact same scenario I just presented you. I go, it's almost like you just made it up, right? So then she gave me shit, and then I started hitting on her.
Nice.
And she's going, this is like harassment, and she got fucking pissed and hung up on me. Oh,
That's
those were the
amazing.
90s. I got to go on stage, though.
All right, man.
Bobby, I'll see you.
I'll see you Wednesday.
Dude, you look fucking great. Look at that kid. Look at him.
Yeah, I'll see you. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you Wednesday, 1 o'clock.
See you, brother.
Producer.
Yeah, producer.
Yeah, Bally's made it into my book.
Is that in Chicago?
Me trying to. Yeah, I just was there Saturday night.
Bartnick did his special there.
Who did?
Joey B.
Joey Bartnick.
That's
Who's
funny.
that?
What a
Bally's Total
special
Fitness.
guest. Well, Bally's in
They wouldn't let me out, and so I eventually, and at this point, I was on the Howard Stern show, and I wrote them a letter after 6 months. I wrote them a letter going, I'm going on the Howard Stern show on Wednesday. You either let me out of this fucking thing, and I want a phone call before then, or I'm going to shit on your entire organization on the Howard Stern show. And they let me out.
The Bally's, I think it was on 95th Street,
Yeah.
I believe.
On the east side.
Or 86th Street on the east side.
Okay.
It was between 3rd and Lex, 86. So you had to go up 10 blocks, right?
Yeah.
It was in a apartment. They just took over an apartment and made like a weight room. So when you went in, it was like a prison.
No shit.
Like the weight room was like a prison.
So it was like a series of apartments that had exercise equipment in them?
And the guys in there were very prison-like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a series of apartments with like one room had treadmills, like another room had the other one was weights.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, like Bally's just took over this building and made a gym out of it.
Somebody needs to do, you know how they do those documentaries? They did one on like Van Deutsch and like, you know, is it Van Dutch?
I mean, it's Van Dutch. It's not Deutsch.
Are you burning me right now?
I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah.
It's not Deutsch. I mean, it is to some people in Europe, but not to you. It's Van Dutch. And it's schedule, not schedule. And it's aluminum, not aluminium. I'm just trying to help you.
Somebody's got to follow up on these Bally's people. Somebody's got to do a documentary about the pyramid scheme that is Bally's Total Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
You had to know there was no cap. You would get to the cardio section and there would be a line of people waiting to get on a fucking treadmill because they never capped how many people they gave memberships to. They just kept cranking them out.
No, I had to go. I think ours was open 24.
Yeah.
And you had to go late night. But when you went late night, dude, it was prison.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, dudes with teardrop tattoos and,
Right.
From the Chingalings and the Latin Kings. And they're like, yo, you want to fuck? Go ahead, man. You can get in. Like, they would ignore you and be like waiting. And they're like, go ahead, man. Use it. Go ahead. Do it. And like, you'd be like, hey, I'm good. It was so frightening.
Yeah.
To work
you
out
change
there.
all his weights on him. I got to just take these plates off. I'll be good.
Yeah, but the guy's lifting, the guy's benching 7 plates.
Yeah.
Just pure strength.
Right.
Not even any tone. Like he's not even shredded. He's just and I got to take all the plates off and put on like a 35 and a 35 and a 5, because I got to only do 40. You know what I mean? Oh, those days were nuts, man.
What are you doing now for exercise?
I'm just walking.
I should comment. You've lost some considerable weight. Congratulations.
I'm walking and I'm lifting weights.
Yeah.
That's it.
Free
I'm
weights?
Too old. Free weights.
Yeah.
Dumbbells mostly.
You go to a gym?
I go to gyms. I have a gym, Anytime Fitness. It's a little gym near my house. It's open 20. I got a little key fob. I can go in. So usually when the kid goes to sleep, I go to the gym and I'll jump on the treadmill. Yeah. Just right when they go to bed, 10:30. Instead of watching TV or fucking off, I'll just go to the gym. I'll get on the treadmill, and then I got this shredded black guy on YouTube that does these 15, 20-minute workouts for with dumbbells, and I put it down and I just do what he tells me to do.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
That's great.
I'm out. And yeah, that's it.
That's amazing.
Just walking. Walking is the key for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and getting gastric sleeve surgery. That helped too.
What's that?
That's when they make your stomach the size of a banana. That actually helps. That helped too. It was the walking, the lifting weights, and then the gastric.
Oh yeah, that other thing.
And that.
Yeah, you should all do that.
And that.
Yeah.
And that. Yeah, I have. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You bringing up Tom Brady and all this food stuff. When I shot my special,
which is fantastic, great special.
Thank you. It was the best acting you've ever done. I'm looking into the camera. That was amazing. That was. I mean, holy shit. He hasn't watched a comic special ever.
The movie was good.
If Carlin came back from the grave and did an extra, he wouldn't watch it. He'd be like, the movie was good.
The movie was great. We'll talk about that next.
Well, Louie directed it, produced it.
Right.
And it's on his website, louisck.com. Mm-hmm. So it is, it's a special. It's special. It's, for him to do it, one of the best comics walking the earth.
Yeah.
To direct my special and put it on his website is great. And
what's that cost people to go to his website and watch it?
It's $10. $10, 2 seconds, Apple Pay. You're in, you're out. You own it. And
you own it for life.
And all his other shit. Louie, the show's up there. His specials are up there.
Right.
I love that people are creating their own network now.
Yeah.
So people don't have to. You don't have to worry about it.
No.
People like my comedy or like Louie, they'll go and get it. And
right.
You don't have to. You don't have to get a yes anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Hey, can you like me? That all that's gone.
It's gone so fast that it's not even part of the conversation anymore. Like good comics don't talk about getting Netflix specials anymore because they if you're Seinfeld or somebody huge, or if you're somebody that checks a bunch of boxes for them, and I'm not a fucking white guy complaining. Whatever, whoever gets it. But it's no longer necessary. You don't need it.
No, you can film it yourself.
Yeah.
With one of these 2 cameras. You can film a special, put it on YouTube, and you get a bunch of fans that like your comedy if it's funny. So
right.
But we were doing it in Florida, and this fucking, we were 20 minutes in the first show, and this guy, I just hear, help me. And I'm like, what? Help her, please help her. Help me, help my wife. I'm like, what the fuck?
No fucking way.
I look out center row, second row, center stage. There's a lady just going, and I'm like, oh my God. And the guy's like, Bobby, help her.
How old are they?
They're middle aged.
Yeah.
Maybe 30s, late 30s, right? Place, everything, lights go up. This lady's dying. Nobody knows. There's no
shit.
There's nobody around. You know what I mean? I got an immediate headache. I'm off stage. I look on the stage. I was just killing.
Yeah.
And all the chairs are up there now from where she was because they had to drag her out. And
God.
my water. I gave her my water, so she's just like pouring it on her face. And I'm panicking. I'm just staring at this crowd, and everybody's like whispering.
Yeah.
It's like the lights are up. It's like fuck. And then I look over.
And this is the first taping?
First taping. 2 of 2.
Oh.
And I look over at Louie, and they're dragging this woman, a dead body. Like, I don't even know. By Louie. And as soon as she gets past him, he goes, we're good. We're good. It's like, get her out. And I'm like, it was so crazy. I go up, I do the rest of the show, but
You just picked up where you left off?
I don't even know what I said, man. I felt like I was in a fight. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I know I said shit. I got to get this footage because I don't know what it was.
It's got to be the DVD extra.
And DVD, what is it, fucking 2006? What the fuck are you talking about?
Put it on the VHS tape.
The DVD extra. What are you fucking, what is this, Ghostbusters? Fucking DVD extra.
It's the best part of the special.
Yeah, it's the Blu-ray extra. Of course I'm going to throw it on the Blu-ray. You mean Instagram?
Dude, Dave Attell was working on DVD extras for Dave's Old Porn for 10 years after that thing. And I was like, Dave, nobody's buying DVDs.
Dude, fucking DVD extra. Yeah, man. He came out we were speaking about Tom Brady. I'm in the back. We cleared the dressing room. I'm done. I'm like out of it.
Yeah.
I'm fucked. I'm like, dude, we didn't get it.
Yeah. And you
We
guys
didn't get it.
built the fucking theater.
We built this
make
whole
this.
thing to
Yeah.
make it. There was nothing there. Coastal Creatives. They let us go in and just make this special, you know. And he starts talking about Martin Luther, Louie, history. He knows He goes, Martin Luther King once said, and he goes into this Martin Luther King thing, and I'm just still like, yeah, no, dude, no. And he's like, John F. Kennedy once said to his brother, and I'm like, fucking no, man, we're fucked. I'm fucked. Then he takes his phone out and he starts showing. He brings up a Tom Brady inspirational video, and I start watching it out of the corner of my eye. And he's like, they didn't think I was fast enough. And all of a sudden he brings it up, and I'm like, fucking, let's do this. Let's go. It worked. It so worked. He's like, let's do it.
That's amazing.
It was so funny.
The last great thing Tom Brady's done.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was not, man, petrifying. Doing a special, I really wish I could get over it, but I'm still petrified of it. I'm still petrified because, look, even though I've done stuff before, people will do, one I did at the Village Underground. There were two hot chicks sat in the front row intentionally. And they were just talking and fucking making it about them.
Yeah.
I kicked them out in my special.
No
I'm like,
shit.
And then I went to the guy. This is my rule at the Comedy Cellar now. When I do the Pussycat, I do it on Tuesday nights. I run my hour.
Yeah.
And the rule is me or uglier, front row.
You were uglier.
Yeah, me or uglier gets the good seats.
Yeah.
Hot people in the back.
I love it.
Anybody prettier than me?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. It really is brilliant, and I really do that.
Yeah.
Like if I walk in and see a blonde smoking,
No, it's the worst.
she's gone. Get in the back.
It's the worst. It's so distracting. When I did the first time I played the Knicks, and this will mean something to you, but the Knicks in Kowloon in Saugus.
Yeah.
It was a Polynesian restaurant. It was on the second floor in a fucking banquet room.
The best.
It sounds like a dump. It was the best fucking room ever.
Ever.
So I finally get booked there. I'm an open micer. I'm an opening act, and I finally get booked to feature at the Kowloon in Saugus. And I go, I forget who was booking it at that point. Was it Dominic or whoever? So he goes, okay. I go, what's the date? And he goes, it's Thanksgiving. So I go, oh, fucking great. So I got to call my family, and I'm very close to my family, and like holidays are a big deal.
Right.
And I call them up and I go, look, I don't know how to explain this to you. This isn't going to make sense to you, but there's a Polynesian restaurant. They got a banquet room on the second floor, and they want me on Thanksgiving night. It's a big gig for me.
Yeah.
And my family, without missing a beat, said, we're driving up. We'll be there Thanksgiving night. So they all come up. They get some hotel rooms in Boston. Thanksgiving night, opening act goes up, and I'm getting ready to go on. I notice that the front row is empty, and I'm like, why is the front row empty? And so, and they go, there's a party coming. I said, all right, so whatever. So I get on stage. I'm 5 minutes into my set, and the door opens, and there was this guy, John, who was this big, jug-headed fucking meathead from Saugus.
I remember.
And he looks at me, and he smiles, and then he opens the door, and 12
Oh boy.
intellectually disabled people walk in the room, and he seats them across the front row
Is that what
of
you
the
call them now?
stage. Yes, that's what they're called now.
Okay. Intellectually what?
Disabled.
I can't even say that. I think I'm intellectually disabled.
And they proceeded to laugh at the
the
setups,
best.
the silences. There was just general celebration, and you can't get mad at them.
No.
You can't yell at them. You can't deal with it. And he just stood at the door, doubled over, and my family was in the back, and my family was laughing harder than John was. They were fucking
They were laughing at.
dying.
So I was with this girl. I worked with 6 intellectually disabled
Intellectually
people.
disabled.
I lived with them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, before I went to Maria's.
Where you live with more intellectually disabled people.
Yeah, I mean really intellectually. But that's why I lived in Winthrop. I lived with my ex-girlfriend worked with them, and she had a job. I needed a place to live. I had a Jewish foster father who we kind of had a falling out. It's time for me to go. You know, I lived there for 3 years. He saved my life. When I got out of rehab and went home to my mom.
And you're only like 17 at this point, right?
Yeah. And I couldn't live with my mom. She just couldn't deal with me sober, you know? So I had to get out. He took me in. He was a foster father. I was a ward of the state till I was 18. So he's like, look, they can pay me. I'll take you in. You live with me. And he was the best. But after 2 years or so, I think the third, it's like, you got to go. So my ex-girlfriend Chris was like, I got this job. It's right down the street, Winthrop, right off the beach. You have to live in the house with these guys. There's 6 of them. They're, 50 and over, elderly, mentally challenged. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that. And I went in, I met the lady. The lady running it was this big, chubby lesbian lady, but she loved me.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting down with her and I'm talking to her and she's going over it and we hit it off. But I go, the only question I have, do I have to wipe? I don't want to wipe anybody's asshole.
Oh, wait, were you working there or were you just living there?
Dude, working. I had to work.
Whoa.
So I worked. So she was like, no, they're all high functioning. You don't have to wipe anybody's asshole. Lie, by the way. Almost a lie. But yeah, I moved in. I had my own room and a living room. And there was 3 on my floor, 3 on the first floor.
Yeah.
And I would just have to be home by 11 o'clock 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And then
it's before you started doing stand-up?
While I was doing stand-up. So I could go do spots, and then I'd be home by 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which spots usually were home by 11, or I could get a pass once in a while.
Yeah.
They loved that I was a stand-up.
Uh-huh.
And I lived with these 6 elderly, mentally challenged dudes.
Did you love them?
Dude, I have never had friends that great in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to hang out. I remember Barry, who had Down syndrome, and he was bald like I am now. I look like him now.
Yeah.
The way he would. And he had a recliner, and he would sit in his recliner, and he would just rock, and I would sit on the edge of his bed, and he would go, he had a big, long tongue, and he'd go, like I would put my hand here. We'd watch, like, Judge Wapner. We literally would just watch daytime TV, and we'd sit there, and I'd put my hand here like that, and he'd go, and try to get it. And we'd do that for hours. And once in a while, I would just go, and he'd get it, and he'd go, ha, ha. We had such a fucking good time, dude. We had such a good time.
That's a skill set.
Dude, we would go, I'd take him on my motorcycle, we'd go get lunch.
That's amazing.
And there was Billy, Ed. Ed was a big guy, kind of violent.
Uh-huh.
Kind of violent.
So did you have to were you like security?
Well, yeah, I was there to make sure that nothing happened or, they didn't, kill each other or whatever. If they needed me, I was there. Like they were in bed by the time I got home most of the time. And I had to wake them up in the morning, make sure everybody was on their bus or they left because they were they all had jobs,
Yeah.
And Ed once had, Leo was really timid guy, and he's in his 50s. And he's like, hey, Bobby, hey, Bob, hey, Bob, hey, hi, Bob, Bob's here, hi, Bob. And you kind of let it go, because if not, you'll fucking lose your mind.
Yeah.
Bobby, hi, Bob, hi, Leo, how you doing? But Ed didn't like it. Ed would snap. I came down Wednesday, and he was threatening Leo. He's like, shut the hell up. And he's a big, big guy.
Yeah.
He's got a mustache, and he's, shut up, I'm going to kill him. And I was like, Ed, knock it off. Leave him alone. And he grabbed a knife.
Oh, shit.
He's like, I'll stab you, too.
Damn.
So he doesn't know I just got out of rehab like a couple of years ago. I grabbed a knife. I was like, I'll fucking murder you. Let's go. You want to fucking play? Let's play, motherfucker. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And he put his knife away, and I put mine away. I was like, listen. And he's like, all right, you never fucked with me again. Yeah, he was going to kill me. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. I love those guys. We actually did a show. I did a show when I left. They put on a show. Me, Billy was there, and Patrice.
Yeah.
And we did a show at a church down the street for those guys.
To raise money? Or
they all
for them?
Came. Yeah, for them. They came. It was a benefit. And I got Patrice and Billy too. I think Billy was there. They did Billy and Dan. But I remember they didn't have a microphone.
Uh-huh.
So they had a lavalier. So I remember Patrice, he's 350-pound black dude. I'm going to kill Bob Kelly. He's so mad. Because they were like, yay, yay. And he's like, Malcolm XXL. So bad.
When I was I work with him with there's a thing called Best Buddies, which helps them with housing. Exactly what you're describing.
The best. Yeah.
It's the great group.
Oh, the best.
And so they would have, they get internships, they get paid jobs, they have interim housing. And so Tom Brady was the face of Best Buddies forever. He did it for like 15 years. All the time he was in Massachusetts, he was doing benefits for Best Buddies. He got to know the people. He got to know a lot of the buddies, a lot of the people with the special needs. And so I flew to Boston one year because we were going to do a bike ride from Boston to Cape Cod, raising money for Best Buddies. Oof. So the night before the bike ride, they have a big event at Harvard Stadium. And it's a celebrity football game, touch football game. And it's celebrities. It's like whoever that chef is, like one of the famous chefs, and Tom Brady and a bunch of famous actors are all in the field. And I'm one of the famous people.
Right.
Yeah. And so we go. I was a late round draft pick.
Goes Tom Brady, then the third kicker. Wow.
I was apologizing on the way, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a celebrity.
They were thinking you were a retired sports guy, though. Isn't that a tennis? Is that McEnroe?
Oh, God. Still playing. And so I show up, and we get out on the field, and I meet Tom Brady, and I just can't fucking believe it. He's just bigger than life. Have you ever met him?
He's a Kennedy. Yeah, I met him one time. He's like a Kennedy.
Fucking gorgeous. And he lights up the room, the smile, and he looks you in the eye when he talks to you, makes you feel like $1 million. So I talked to him for like 10 minutes. I can't fucking believe it. And then we get into the huddle, and the teams are split up so that there's Best Buddies and celebrities on each team mixed in. Yeah. And so we get to the huddle, and he says, okay, so Darlene, you're going to just run straight ahead and then turn around, and you do this. And then he doesn't even look at me. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do my thing. I go to the sideline, and he calls a hike, and I start running down the sideline. Yeah. And I look over my left shoulder, and he's fucking looking at me. Yeah, Tom Brady.
He wants to win.
He wants.
Yeah, he's not throwing it to the physically challenged.
He fucking lofts a perfect tight spiral over my shoulder. I got my arms out, and all I'm thinking is a basket catch. I just got to pull it in, gently pull it in, making sure I don't trip. I pull it in. I got it. Yes. I got it. Now I got two buddies in front of me. I deke them out. I run around. I score a touchdown. I went, what did I do? Tom Brady had his face in his hands going, what the fuck is this guy doing?
The two guys were crying. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. But inside he's like, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
And Giselle was in the stands rubbing two chickens later.
I'm telling you, that bitch does voodoo.
Yeah.
I met him in Miami.
Yeah.
I went down there. Jimbo Wahlberg, Mark's brother.
Yeah.
Great guy. Just a great guy. Lives down in Florida.
Yeah, I know Jimbo.
Yeah, he's been
sober forever.
Yeah, man. He's a great guy. And I feel bad. Well, he wanted me to do this, so I got to call him. I feel so bad. He wanted me to
run a sober house in Quincy for a while called Footprints.
It was a dance club, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they used to have a comedy night that I think he used to run or something.
Yeah, remember the dance club? Footprints Dance Club. Yeah, we used to go dancing.
It was for sober people.
Yeah. We did comedy there.
Yeah.
You would do comedy, and then you'd hang out. And
that's where I got to know him.
They'd start playing, fucking the B-52s, and then a couple of chicks would come up, and you'd hang out. Yeah, I remember that. Remember, dude, I used to go to AA dances all the time.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, but he brought me backstage one time, and I met Belichick, and then Brady comes out. I remember Wes Welker walked by us with his hog out, and I was like, holy, I was just staring at it like, it's just like.
Did you say backstage? You just said backstage.
What is it called?
You mean the locker room?
The locker room, yeah. I'm a big
sport. Guys. Yeah, Tom Brady's backstage, getting ready for the game.
I'm a big sports guy. Backstage, Dude, Wes Welker has a kickstand.
Yeah.
I just met that, and all of a sudden, Tom comes out in a double-breasted suit.
Yeah.
And he does, man. He lights up the room, and he's just smiling.
Yep.
And he comes out, and there he is, just smiling, and Jimbo walks up, and he's like, "Hey, get a photo." And hey, of course, man. Of course, when they do that, of course you can.
Yeah.
Come over, and he puts everything on, and I'm taking the stupid photo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody smile. See if you can get it as great as Tom Brady.
You said that?
Oh.
Out loud?
Out loud.
Yeah.
Nobody, it was just silence. And Tom just went, ting, snap, and then he walked away. I was like, baby.
Yeah.
Never got my photo. Never even said hello.
Yeah.
I was just that guy that took the photo for Jimbo. I suck.
Jesus.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
All right, well, listen. I want to tell people
Yes.
why. Well, first of all, I want to tell people while they're on that same site, Louis C.K.'s site, there's a film called 4th of July that you were in this past summer, and Joe List, I think, co-wrote it with Louis.
Yeah, they wrote it together.
And Joe stars in it. Joe has got fucking chops. He's a great actor. But you, I already knew you were a good actor because I used to watch you in his sitcom, Louie. But man, you were so fucking good in this. I called you immediately. As soon as I saw it, I was like, man, why you're not doing 3 movies a year is beyond me. You're so fucking talented,
Thank you,
grounded, real, connected. I mean, everything. It was great.
Yeah, thanks, man. Not to be corny, but I do like acting.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of comics like, fuck that. I've always liked it.
Yeah.
I've always liked doing it. And Louis the best because he just puts me in shit.
Yeah.
Because, whatever, dude. I suck at auditioning. Mm-hmm. It's the worst.
Right.
It ruins your day and night. They send you that 14 pages of shit.
Yeah.
14 pages, really?
And then you read a half a page and they go, thanks a lot for coming in.
You read it, or you do it all, and they say that. You spend all night working on it.
Yeah.
You're up until the middle, and then you do it, and you go in, and you don't even hear from them again. There should be, it just sucks. And it's just the worst. So when somebody like Louis just gives it to you, I've never auditioned for him. He's just giving me shit.
Yeah.
Because he knows that, and he's great at it too because he can help you out. He knows your strengths and weaknesses, and he'll kind of, dude, I want you to kind of do this, and it's like, all right, great. And that movie was a blast because Tony V was on it. Nick DiPaolo was on it. Joe Walsh was on it. It was just a bunch of comedians.
Yeah.
Up in Lake George. And Louis just bought all these cabins, rented all these things on the water.
Uh-huh.
So every day you'd wake up and go in the lake, and then you come out and they go to set, and you come back at night. We're all at the cabin.
That's amazing.
Tony V would cook every night.
Oh, no shit, really?
Me and him, I was a sous chef.
Uh-huh.
So he would cook every night with a cigar. I'd be helping him cook. And everybody would bring shit from their little cabins. And we cook it, and then we go inside and eat, and then we sit by outside, and then we go in the water. And we'd hang out until we all left, and then you on set again. It was one of the greatest filming experiences ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like acting. You like acting? You're a good actor too.
I like to act.
Yeah, you're good too. I've seen you on some stuff.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't audition well. I feel like I went to acting school for 2 years.
Where?
So the Neighborhood Playhouse in New York.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel comfortable doing it, but I've always gotten in my own head with auditioning, so I never
It's
did
a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing you have to learn how to do.
Right.
And I did it once. Like I had my acting teacher, Pete Kelly. He's from Boston. And it's a different thing because comedy is this thing you just go up and it's confident. Your confidence kind of gets you up there, and it's all you.
Yeah.
When you do this, it's somebody else's words, and you got to kind of find your way in there.
Right.
And how can you do this as you, but the way they want you to do it, right? And auditioning is a whole other thing because you got to go in there and you have to make choices. You're reading with somebody who's not an actor most of the time. It's just somebody who works in the office.
Casting person.
They're not going to give you anything.
Yeah.
So you have to make these choices, and you have to look around the room. You have to take a minute. You have to breathe and give yourself. But you feel like you got to go in. Okay, how you doing? I'm all right. No, okay.
Yeah.
And then you're out, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? That's your time. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I remember one year I was like, fuck them. I don't care about them. They can kick me out. I'm going in there and feeling comfortable until I feel comfortable. They can think I'm weird, whatever the fuck they want, because I ain't going to get it if they don't want me to get it anyways. But at least I'm going to give myself a shot.
Yeah.
And I remember I went in one time, a Law and Order, and I went in and I had this dumb hat. I just wore it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm wearing this stupid, gangster hat. And then I had a booger. And I remember as soon as we started seeing it, I felt it coming out. Like it's going to fall. It's on camera. The camera's right there. And I just took it and I rolled it. like this, and I flicked it, and I waited, and you heard ping. And I was like, I don't know that guy. And I just went into the scene. And I got it.
That's amazing.
I got it. I walked out 5 seconds later. You got it. And the director wants you to wear the hat. That's what he said.
And can you put some snot in your nose?
Yeah,
we love
dude.
that. We're adding it to the scene. I went into one time, I auditioned for something, and I felt really like I had the lines. I had made some choices. I felt like confident walking in.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I didn't take that 30 seconds to go, all right, the house is there. This
Right.
character, all right, I see my father. I put my father onto this guy who's reading with me. Let me see that. Like I didn't get grounded. And so I ripped through it. And they said, thank you. I could tell they didn't give a fuck about me. I said, thank you. Stamp my parking. I'm in my car and I'm driving down Lancashire and I'm just punching the steering wheel. I'm going, you piece of shit. You fucking talent zero. What are you doing out here? You should move back to New York. And then I just went, fuck that. I'm going back. I said, I'm going back.
No.
Fucking doing it again.
No.
And so I drive back onto the lot. I showed them my parking pass. They let me in. I walked into the waiting area, and I walked right through the waiting area, went to the cast room. I opened the door, and there was another guy. I think it was Brian Callen.
Oh, my God.
And standing there reading.
Oh.
And I walk, and I go, hey, listen, I can do a lot better than that if you just give me another chance. And they just looked up, and they went, no. And the guy started laughing. I don't know if it was Brian Callen. The guy started laughing.
Yeah,
and I
dude.
fucking left and I drove back on Lancashire going like, now you deserve to feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't even want to. Can we cut me out of this part in case they're still around? I don't want to be involved. Wow. I left the room. Wow, that's fucking gave me. I mean, dude, that gave me douche shivers. It's terrible. That's just. It's terrible. That's terrible, dude. I mean,
It's the worst thing that ever happened.
I mean, just. I actually did so bad one time. I was walking by the office. They thought I had left. I went to the bathroom to go pee. I was so fucking sweaty and hot, and I bombed. As I was walking by, they were like, "Oh my God, he was so bad," and they were talking about me. And I walked by and I go, "I'm still here," and they were like, "Sorry." It's like, fuck. I went back one time, though, out here. My first audition out here, when I came out here for pilot season, I went in for Frank Lupo. I don't know if you remember him.
Does that sound familiar?
He was the executive producer of the A-Team and Hunter. Remember Hunter?
Okay, of course.
A-Team, he was big back in the, I believe, the 80s. Big, Frank Lupo.
Right.
He was doing a new show out here. And I walked in and I had it. I knew I had it and I fucked the lineup. And I walked out and I go, listen, I need to do it again. I didn't leave the building. I'm not a lunatic like you. I have to show my parking pass again. And then interrupt another audition. I stopped myself at the door like a normal human being. And I said, I go, listen, I need to do it again. Please let me do it again. I messed up that one line. I'm going to be in the car doing these lines for 2 weeks by myself.
Yeah.
If you don't let me. And the lady was like, no, you did great. Lying.
Yeah.
Casting director, and no, you're great. And the Frank Lupo was like, no, let him do it again. Most people don't want to get it right. They're not really, so you want to get it right? Get it right. And I went and I fucking nailed it. 9 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I'm in the car. We're up to 15,000 an episode. I'm in the car, and my agent went, they're 12.5. I think I can get them to 15. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I went, fucking yeah. Yeah. I'm in a Honda, purple Honda CRV.
Yeah.
A manual on the 405. Whatever the fuck that highway, in traffic. Fucking yeah. I mean, dude, life-changing.
Yeah.
So they're making the decision. It's down to me and another guy. I'm staying in Santa Monica.
Brian Callen, isn't it?
No, it wasn't Brian. No, we've never been on the same thing.
Yeah.
But they called me up and they go, I remember praying. I was on my knees. I'm like, God, please give me this. Please, I was asking for Christmas presents instead of accepting whatever the fuck it is. Instead of letting go, I was just like, please give me what I want, Right. And they called me up. They're like, you didn't get it. But there's another part they want to give you. It's you get killed in the first episode. You're one of the cops, but you get killed in the first episode. It's $6,000, and I was like, okay, whatever. So whatever. I gotta go to San Diego to Stu Siegel Productions. Big guy down there. He's huge. I remember I'm sitting on the curb smoking, and the lady's like, "Mr. Kelly, is your trailer something wrong?" And I was like, "What?" And I was sitting in front of my trailer. I didn't know I had a fucking trailer. It said my my name from the show on it. I thought it was Gary's. I didn't know. I forgot my name was Gary. I wound up getting this thing. The kid that got my part was just a twat.
Yeah.
Just an actor. Like, really. He had a goatee, and we went in to hair and makeup. Like, look, you both can't have a goatee because you look similar. Because we were both trying to get that part. He got it. So
they made you
he goes, I look too young without it, so I can't. So they made me shave it to a mustache. The guy who had my part was a black guy, but he couldn't do it. They never told wardrobe, so it was all hip-hop clothes. So I had hip-hop clothes and a mustache. I look like a fucking... Dude...
You're like a porn star.
Dude, I was so bad. I wish I had a baseball hat, a mustache, and these baggy clothes, right? So I remember Stu Siegel shows up with the head of Fox, or whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I start trashing him. I'm like, where'd you get that shirt, you lunatic? What, the shitty shirt shop? Is it the shitty shirt shop down here? Everybody's dying. I found out it's the heads. They come back to me. They go, we want to keep you as a regular.
No.
Yeah. They go, we don't want to kill you. We just want you to get hurt. We want you to be on the show as a series regular. They're going to give you 9.5. Don't ask for more because they're not going to give it to you, but we'll give you 9,500 an episode.
Yeah.
That was my quote. And I was like, fucking yeah. So we shot the pilot, and I went back to my girl's house, and I waited a year and a half thinking they were going to pick this pilot up. I was like, I'm sitting there.
Kept a stupid mustache the whole time, just in case.
Dude, I thought we were going because, the crew was like, this is the best thing we've ever shot.
Yeah.
This is going to go. I was walking around the mall with my hat down because I thought people would recognize me. It was a pilot that didn't get picked up. The only people that would recognize me were the crew or other people in the show. Like, I was literally walking to go get sneakers. Like,
You fucking idiot.
fucking lunatic. I remember I stayed out in fucking dumb L.A., no offense, for fucking almost 2 years thinking that it might get picked up. And then I left. I wasn't doing spots. I wasn't getting any acting work. I gained weight, because I'm a food addict. I gained weight again. So I went from really sexy Bobby to fucking chubby actor Bob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went from leading man to uncle.
Yeah.
And then, Patrice is the one who made me leave. He was the one.
Wow.
He stayed at my house, and then I was cooking him barbecue chicken, and he was like, he took a bite, and he looks at me, he goes, Barbie, you need to move. I'm like, why? He goes, this is the best barbecue chicken I've ever had in my fucking life. You're a cook. You're not a comic. You need to move back to New York right now.
Wow.
I moved a month later.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because you can get stuck out here, man.
Yep.
You can, if you don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to do it, if you don't get yourself up and the fuck out and in the mix when you don't want to, and you stay out wherever the hell you are. I was in Culver City at the time. It's like you wind up just staying in at night.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a tough town because you're also, as a New York comic, you're used to getting so many spots, and you come out here and you realize like you're going to go from 15 spots a week down to 4.
Yeah.
And during those 4 spots, you're going to see way worse comedians with the stage time. Yep. And then you're just going to get disheartened and not want to do the sets anymore.
Yeah. It was really, I remember one time I did a show in Westwood, I think it is. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
And this lady had a stopwatch around her neck. Mm-hmm. And while you were on, she would go, time. And I was like, this is fucking not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was the lady who's on that fucking, what's his name?
Oh, here we are. We're coming full circle.
What's his name? On Seinfeld, but not Seinfeld. I suck.
George Costanza?
No, the guy who wrote it with him.
Larry David?
Yeah, what's his show?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I need fucking Alpha Brain.
We better go.
Let's snort some.
We better go.
Yeah, it was his wife. The girl put his wife was the chick with the stuff.
Cheryl Hine?
Yeah, she fucking wound up being huge. Very talented actress. Shitty at running an open mic, man. What a fucking stopwatch time. Fuck off. Fucking asshole. I can't remember. I need to snort. I need to inject. Can you inject Alpha Brain? Does it work? I need something. Buy my special. Listen to me. Is that the camera?
Yeah.
LouisCK.com, Killbox, Robert Kelly. Everybody who just listened to this, if you made it this far, you need to go buy my special.
Yeah, you owe it to yourself. Now, you truly are one of the best comics in the country right now. Louie knows. Who knows comedy more than Louie? And I'm looking up your tour dates right now.
Yeah.
He's also going to be performing a lot.
Yeah, don't do that.
winter.
You don't have to come see me. Just buy the special. I need to pay Louie back.
All right.
I need to get, no, I'm kidding. Please go to my special. Come see me live.
Okay.
I was talking to somebody about you, dude.
Oh, yeah?
You, I don't know. You're one of the funniest. Dude, you are a ripper, dude. Like, when I always knew you were funny back in Boston. When you came to New York, I think it was the time before, when you were shooting that show, and you went on stage one night, and I was sitting there with Liz. You shredded the Village Underground like I've only seen a few people
No
do.
shit. Oh, that's nice to hear.
I mean,
thanks, man.
I was like, Liz, he's fucking... We were both like looking at each other like, what the fuck? And laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, you shredded that room, and not an easy room to shred.
No.
And people do good in that room, but you were murdering that room.
Nice to hear. Thanks,
and it was
man.
so precise, and you didn't... You killing, bang, and then you'd go and just go into the next one. You would just bang, bang, bang. It was so crisp. What a crisp kill. You know, sometimes when guys are killing, like I'll kill sometimes and it's like all over the place. It's kind of like, is this me making it up or what's happening?
Yeah.
Yours was a set.
Yeah.
But it was a murderous set. Like you were
nice to hear.
You were a sniper, like a Navy SEAL murdering those fucking, and it was kids too, like young. It wasn't like
kids.
It was great to see, man. Really.
Will you
killer?
You talked to Louis C.K. about it?
No, I'm not. I gotta wait 6 months after.
I didn't say, should I send you a tape or something?
If 10,000 people from this, how many people watch this? If 8 people.
Bobby Kelly, you're the best. Thanks for coming on.
Good to see you, pal.
All right, good to see you.
All right.